Okay, while this second batch begins to juice, begins to drip, I'm going to take the pulp. You can see there's a lot of juice in there. I'm going to pour what I can off of that while there's still just a little bit of pulp in there. Each time the pulp grows, and it's harder to hold the pulp back, but that'll be good to have that extra juice out of there. This is beginning to steam out the juice, which means we're full, almost an inch of juice in the bottom of the pan, maybe even a little more. Okay, almost exactly 30 minutes from when we started. We had a big push, and now it's stopped dripping, and it did that all on its own. I didn't have to push any grapes down, but it looks like it's done. So we're going to take the potato masher and just make sure that they've got all the juice out of the grapes that it's going to push. It does a pretty good job without helping it. Just checking, like that. That looks good. We'll dump the pulp out. Not much dripping out of there anymore. Oh, I got the lid in there. Here, let's move that lid. Dump that pulp out. Dump out the residue of what's left there. Looks like we're 1.5 gallons of juice so far. You can see the steam. Oh, well, I had that open. We're going to see. We have plenty of water in the pan to go another batch, and we only have one more batch to go. Put that there. Yeah, we're going to have a full 30 pounds total. This will be the third batch, and it's going to fill it right up with another 10 pounds of grapes. Not quite 10 pounds probably, but close to it. Okay, put the lid on. We'll go another 30 minutes. We're going to push over 2 gallons. That's exciting. Okay, looks like this second batch, or third batch, third batch is about done. So I'm going to strain this juice out of the second batch sitting here. Whoop. Stay there. That's about good. We'll have more juice anyway. Okay. Now we'll dump the pulp in the final batch into the pan. Pour the rest of this juice out the bottom of the Futuro juice catch tray. And we're over 2 gallons. We're 2 1/3 gallons, almost 2 1/2 gallons. There's still enough water in the bottom to do a 4th batch, but that's starting to get kind of low. At this point, I would consider, for safety anyway, putting that water level back up to the top if you were going to continue anyway. But I'm done. I'm going to turn the stove off. Set that back off of the burner. And we might as well keep going. So the next process is to leave this on. Might as well keep going here. Actually put that back on the burner. And bring this to a boil. We'll boil it for a few minutes before we bottle it. Some more juice settling in here. Okay. We're not quite at the 3 gallon mark. We're an inch below the top of the pan. There's a little more juice in here. I'm not sure how long I want to wait for this juice to settle. There's probably another cup of juice. Back up here. We could strain it through a big cloth, but I really don't think there's that much left to make it worth all the effort to set this up, strain into a different pan and so on. You might be able to sense my impatience. So we're going to bring that to a boil. We've got 1 gallon, 2 gallon, at least 2 1/2 gallons. In the meanwhile, we'll bring some lids to a boil and warm up some bottles. Okay, we're almost at the 2-hour level. From the very first batch, we did 3 batches of 10 pounds of grapes in the juicer, and the juicer flowed down into the pot which was sitting here. Now we've brought this to a boil, and it's been boiling for about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, almost 10 minutes. These are sitting in water, and the burners underneath the water in the cookie sheet are on, and so this water is hot. We also have lids boiling, sanitizing back behind here in a small pot. You see steaming lids and some rings here we can work with. A couple more rings. Just in case it goes to full 6 quart. We're just almost from after dumping all of the excess drip off juice or seep juice out of the pulp into here, we're almost at 3 gallons. Okay, we're going to start this process here. Move that over just a little closer to the bottles. while that's boiling, we're gonna dump this juice into these jars, and I should be using a funnel. I even brought it over and forgot to use it. There we go. Pour that till it comes right up into the threads, like that. You don't want to pour this into a cold jar, it will crack the jar. I just did that yesterday. No fun! I lost one of my 2 quart jars. Alright, let's just set that right here for a moment. It should be glass if I put it in there, huh? Because the bottom of the pan is hot, it could melt the plastic. The reason I'm using glass is this particular pouring device is a lot bigger than our glass one. It was just taking way too long. Oh, that's hot water. Here, we're cleaning the rims. Ah, that's really hot water. That's better. Clean the rims. Set the lid. Now these are not finger tight. Remember, this is just in the jar as is, so we're going to go ahead and tighten that up pretty good. Like that. And remove these to a towel so they're not touching a cold surface. I'm going to move them to a towel. You know what? I'm just going to leave them in here, and we're going to switch places to be safe. Like that. That plays it a lot safer than setting it on a cold surface after it's been sitting in hot water like that. No chance of breaking the jar. The jars are pretty tough. So we've got 5 more minutes before the full 2 hours is up that it took us to can this batch. You see the water boiling on the tray. The stove burners are set at medium. Plus, I just washed the jars, and the jars are warm to begin with. Getting more difficult to scoop out water or juice because the level of the juice is so low. Okay. Whew, that's hot down there. All right, let's clean the tops of the rims. Like that. Oh no. Put him back in there. That is hot. I don't have a magnet. I'm just trying to divide these with a knife. There we go. Nice and tight. Let's switch places with that one. Nice and snug. Switch places with this one. All right. pouring into 2-quart jars. I wondered earlier, our elevation is 2750 above sea level. That's 2750 above sea level. It's very possible that there might be a few minutes difference between some of the processes. Okay, it's getting too difficult to scoop out with this. So we're just going to turn the right front burner off and pour from the pan. The pan's a little bit warm, making sure we don't touch the pan itself, and pour slowly so we don't spill. Ooh, that's close. So we're out of juice. Don't need this one. What I'm going to do then, let's clean the top of that one jar. Set the lids out for just a moment, and actually pour some of this boiling water, sterile water of course, into the jar to fill it. Fill it on up to where it's full. And we'll use still need to clean the top of that one. Set that there, put a ring on it. And we're done. All of our grape juice is finally done. Okay, let's turn those burners off on the water tray. Turn off the lids. We'll put this lid back in the box for now. So 30 pounds of grape juice made 2.5 gallons. And it took exactly 2 hours. We started at 3 p.m. It is now exactly on the second hand 2 hours, 5 o'clock.